And we begin tonight with the weather impact. Storms returning to central Indiana tomorrow. Some of these could be severe, so this means you really need to keep a close eye on our interactive radar and check in with our weather team throughout the day and night. Thanks for inviting us in. It's 11 o'clock on your Monday night. Seems like this weather this spring has just been relentless. How is this next round timing out?
We're going to have one round in the morning and then the severe round perhaps later in the day. And there are folks still cleaning up from Friday night storms.
Right.
Let's get you to that weather impact alert for tomorrow. Heavy rain will have an impact, slow us down for that morning drive, and then that severe storm potential from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Be prepared for street flooding for that morning commute, and then strong wind, perhaps some rotation with tornadoes possible. Have multiple ways to get warnings and monitor the radar. Radar is clear across central Indiana, but out to our west, you can see the line of severe storms now as close to us as St. Louis. That severe threat will shift east and include all of central Indiana during the day tomorrow. The next several hours are dry, but we wake up to rain, thunder, heavy at times to slow down that Tuesday morning drive. I'll continue the timeline, talk more about that severe threat in a few minutes.
All right, see you in a bit, Angela. Thanks. So anytime severe storms are here in central Indiana, you can stay up to date with our extended weather coverage over on WTHR Plus. That's where you can find our live Doppler 13 radar, and our weather team will be with you until the storms pass. Just download that free app. Do it before you go to sleep tonight, and you can watch it on your TV. And now to a fiery town hall in Monroe County. Tonight, our Logan Gay takes us inside where voters got a chance to take their questions right to Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith.
Hoosiers ready to engage with Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith. A packed house in Monroe County greeted him tonight for his town hall, and demonstrators gathered outside in protest.
I'm very opposed to the comments he's made about DEI and the ways that that is ruining the country. And in fact, I think that as a person of faith, that our diversity is what makes us beautiful as human beings.
He took a variety of questions from the crowd inside. One person asked about racism in America.
Do you think that blacks tend to be mistreated at a vastly greater rate than whites?
No, not today. Not today. Show me. So there is something that the left likes to push, that systemic racism still exists, right? It doesn't.
The topic of education also came up, including concerns about a State House proposal that called for sharing public school funds with charter schools.
Can you explain how public schools are expected to maintain under these circumstances?
We're saying, okay, we're spending a lot of money on public education. Why aren't we at the front of the pack? Why are we constantly in the middle to the low end on the grading scale across the nation? And so I think one of the things you do is you bring in free market mechanisms. You bring in the competition. And I think that's what charter schools are going to do. I'm a big advocate of charter schools because it's competition.
In April, Governor Mike Braun was given total control over choosing members of the IU Board of Trustees. An IU graduate asked Beckwith for his thoughts on this.
How long do you just want to give it up instead of waiting for the lawsuit to make it null and void?
No. IU has not been fair and unbiased in their teaching. Without a doubt, I will stand on that every single day. They have pushed propaganda. They're pushing a woke agenda. Yes, they are.
Moments during the town hall may have been contentious, but we talked to several people who appreciated the opportunity to be heard.
Honestly, I mean, the fact that you were willing to stand here, we disagree on a lot of things. That's fine.
That's all right.
But the fact that you were actually willing to come here makes a difference.
I like the dialogue. I like it when people throw the tough questions at me.
Questions and concerns these people hope he takes back with him to the State House. Logan Gay, 13 News.
And tonight we are now nearing the execution of Benjamin Ritchie. He is set to happen sometime before sunrise. He has spent years on death row for the murder of a Beech Grove police officer in 2000. So why has it taken this long? Indiana didn't execute anyone for 15 years because the state didn't have the drugs to do it. Now Ritchie will be Indiana's second execution in 6 months. 25 years ago, he was 20. Ritchie ran away from a stolen van in a Beech Grove neighborhood. Officer Bill Toney chased him on foot. Police say Ritchie hid and fired 4 shots at Toney. Officer Toney was just 31. a married father of 2 young girls.
For those who have been convicted of killing a cop, they must pay the ultimate penalty for that. The officer's life in service to their community, which is laid down in sacrifice, is actually being done for a greater purpose than just that individual officer.
Ritchie is now set to die by lethal injection before sunrise tomorrow. Death penalty opponents still hope that Governor Mike Braun will change his mind on clemency. Ritchie's attorneys say brain damage from fetal alcohol syndrome disorder was never fully considered in court. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines right now. Tonight, 2 Brownsburg daycare managers are facing formal charges as part of an investigation into child sex crimes. Nancy Minton is the owner of Main Street University Kids. Jennifer Lingbeck is the director. They each face 7 counts, including obstruction and failure to make a report. This is all part of a case involving former daycare worker Gabriel Garner, who is facing 43 charges of crimes against children. A man was just sentenced to 110 years behind bars for a double homicide here in Indianapolis. A jury convicted Jermaine Randall for his role in the shooting deaths of Sean Barnett and Larry Mormon. That shooting happened in January of 2023 on the east side of Indy. Tonight, police in Indianapolis are looking for 2 people after investigators say the suspect stole an off-duty Anderson officer's car. This happened this morning near Woodruff Place West Drive and Michigan Street. Detectives believe both the off-duty officer and the suspects fired shots. Doctors determined the off-duty officer was injured, but not by gunfire. Construction is now underway on a new roundabout in where else? Carmel at 96th and College. Crews are working to improve the infrastructure north of 465. This will include raised pedestrian sidewalks, stormwater system improvements, and landscaping upgrades. Remember, you can find all of our latest local stories anytime on our 13 News app.